Good evening, folks. Welcome to Porsche Cup Challenge. My name is Michael McLeod. I'm going to be your commentator tonight. I'm going to be joined with Adam Morrow once again. Welcome to our show, Adam Morrow.
Thanks for having me, Mike. It's looking like it's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be a tough one. Really looking forward to watch this one as the season almost crosses the halfway point.
Yeah, and not to mention, actually, you were the race winner that we had on Thursday, so it's going to be interesting. You're going to be able to give some awesome insight, I'm hoping for anyways, on just what may be going through these guys' heads, how the car and how the track felt at the very beginning, the challenges that you've got to face at the beginning, the middle, the end, and just to hear from a driver's perspective who's done this race, what that's like. So I'm really excited to have you. I'm always excited to have you. Hopefully you've changed your flag to a Canadian flag. And yeah.
I gotta go. I gotta get in that. The technical stuff. That's the hard part for me. I gotta get in there and change that flag, though. Yep.
Yeah. We've got 20 drivers here with us tonight. We got looks like Philip Hammer with it. Amazing lap out of absolutely nowhere. 139.633. So he currently provisional pole with Igor Koza 139.858, and then quite a gap to third place of Ben Cipher. So it'll be really interesting to see how that shakes down as the laps go on. With 20 drivers, I know. Was it Emil Koopmans is sick this week, so he's not able to make it. He's not feeling able to drive, capable of driving, and there's probably a few other guys who are sick, and putting our grid size at 20 cars is actually a huge advantage for the amateur drivers. Anyone who does show up to a less attended race is gaining a lot more points just by being here. So just always show up if you can, even if you're sick. I know I love racing when I'm sick because it makes you feel better almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. Gets the blood flowing, gets that competitive edge going. And 20 grid, I like that size. I think that's a great grid to have. And seeing how the amateurs are doing here, Watts is leading it, Ojo's in second, Wilford in third, Jason Lyons not too far off in the points. So let's see how they do.
Yeah, definitely. And also have to give a good big shout out to Gordon Ramsay. Has his mother visiting in town and is watching this stream live, I believe. I hope she is. But that's what the rumor has. Rumor has it that Carol Ramsay is watching our race. So, hey, how's it going, Gordon's mom?
Oh, that's awesome. They get mom support out there. She's definitely raised a fighter behind the wheel. He's always pushing hard, and he's a great guy to watch battle it out in there. It's nice to see Corey Lazarus too double dipping. He was in the Americas and set a sub 140 time on Thursday. So he's running out of time here. Let's see if he could get one in, or maybe he's done there. Mike, you might be able to tell me that. But man, these guys are flying.
Yeah, I'm actually almost curious if Carol Ramsay knew that there's a famous chef named Gordon at the time of naming him. Was that a known thing?
I doubt it, but he's got that same the famous Gordon Ramsay, our Gordon Ramsay here, part of the PCC. He's got that intensity behind the wheel, that's for sure. So some kind of similarities between the two guys.
I could have swore they're related. So yeah, welcome to the race, Carol Ramsay. And then, that's great. So we've got one car still going out on his qualifying. He may have one lap left. I am not sure, but you can actually see the challenge of this track, how wide it is, and how much it offers the potential to get up alongside another car. But with the challenge of the turns, it's really not easy to continually hold the car as well and keep yourself in control of it. This little bus stop right here, one of the most frustrating turns on the entire track, I actually think. But it's a great opportunity to get up alongside, or hopefully have the person in front of you make a mistake so you can get up alongside for these sweeping, decreasing radius turns. And tell me about these turns, Adam. What do you think of these turns right here?
Yeah, those are tough. That whole section, like that bus stop coming in, is going to favor the guys that have a real good braking foot that could really throw it in there and have the courage not to take themselves or someone else out. That's for sure. But it's all about nice and smooth through there, easy on the throttle, easy on the gas, and get on that back straight with a nice line to get capture some of that speed.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, this is Gordon's mom. I'm listening and watching, and no one messes with my boy. It runs in the blood.
It's there.
It's
That's
there. I love
great.
it. That's great.
That is awesome.
You taught your boy well.
Yeah.
So here we go. We've got Philip Hammer on pole position, Igor Koz, Ben Cipher in third, Yuri Steinmetz in fourth, Corey Lazarus in fifth, Danny Hugendorn back in our races. He's in sixth, Gordon Ramsay in seventh. We've got Thorsten Cipher in eighth, Lee Holmes ninth, Ariel Julian 10th, Jason Lyons in 11. Rob A. West in 12, Thomas Worm Jr. 13, Daniel Valkin 14, Barry Clayton in 15, Alexander Wilford 16, Alexander Redhead 17, Glenn Humberstone 18, Alistair Hatcher 19, Mark Oliver in 20th, last place. Not a bad place to be still, though. So let's do a whole bunch of this, moving our timing tower. Let's see who's hit the grid so far. This is not a good view. We can't see anything. I don't know. Which view do you like the most? I think this one's good.
That's good coming at you.
Look at that. We're going to take away our timing tower for the time being. And you can see all the cars are just starting to line up. Everyone's going to the washroom for one last pee break before the big race. Calming the nerves, or maybe giving themselves a little kumbaya to calm themselves down, get ready for the intense race that we're about to have. So it looks like everyone has grid. So here we go. We got the lights going on. You can see it up in the middle of our screen. You got one light, you got 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And the lights are off, and away we go. Everyone's got a real nice, clean launch. You can see the cars shuffling back and forth, trying to shimmy for position. It looks like we got car number 60 is well into the lead, heading into turn 1. And dive up the inside from 164, and he's actually made it stick, and that's put them into a 3-wide situation behind Philip Hammer, and that's going to give Philip Hammer a clean run at getting away. A little bit of door banging, as you can see, going wide. It looks like Igor and Danny Hugendorn just fighting it every bit tooth and nail. Igor getting the worst of that. Sorry?
I thought those guys got back on the track real good there. Gave each other some space. Oh no. Oh,
definitely. And that is going to cause some absolute chaos. And that is not going to go over well for a few of our drivers. That is an unfortunate. Let's get back to that race. An unfortunate situation for Ariel Julian to go off the track, hit the dirt, and then unfortunately collect a few of our drivers.
Ariel Julian, yeah, he's double dipping too.
Good to see
him in the 63 blue car.
As you can see, the damage that's now on Alexander Wilford's car, but he is able to continue, and that's a real great sign. You never want to give up. Just keep going. Even if you've got some damage, it's a lot better than taking that fast repair. Alexander Redhead and Mark Oliver, I think, may have gotten the worst of that one. But that never giving up attitude, it's going to gain you a lot of season points if you can keep it up, keep going, and yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wilford won the Mons around, and so it's interesting to see who's going to try to get through the sprint, get into that feature. Lyons hasn't had a win yet. It's a little light on the amateur attendance today, so let's see what he can pull together. Right now he's up in 11th, so he's in a good spot to put him in the feature.
And there you go. You see Corey Lazarus making a move on Thorsten Cipher, going up the inside into turn 1 and making a nice clean pass. Thorsten looks like he made it a little easy on him, but not too easy, of course. That's not Thorsten Cipher's style. He's going to definitely want that position back. But Thorsten is still up 2 positions from where he started on the grid. So it's not like he's in a bad spot by any means. Following along here with the orange car of Danny Hugendorn from the Netherlands. He was on vacation for 1 week, and then he had a date with a girl, it sounds like, on the second week. So that's where Oh boy, that's where his 2 weeks missed came from. Choosing racing over.
His, maybe his put a picture of his sim rig in his Tinder profile, and now he's having a different side in real life there. So good for him.
Yeah. Does he have a picture of himself? There you can actually see in the bottom of our screen. There's Danny right there at Spa.
Oh, so, cool.
Look at that. That must be his Tinder picture right there. We'll just take that away right there. Let's take a look at how much gap Philip Hammer has got from second place. He's got Yuri Steinmetz on his tail, definitely within drafting range. As you can see, heading down that straight towards turn 1. He's getting about a 10th of time on Philip just from being in that beautiful, beautiful draft. Ben Cipher in 3rd position, benefiting in this DRS train. Danny Hugendorn a little bit too far from that draft. Oh, and we have... Igor Koz and Thorsten Seifert. Let's see exactly what happened, actually. How did that take place? It looks like we've got 2 wide situation. It looks like Igor was not able to make it up the inside. Oh, and they both had a little bit of a mishap under braking. They're both trying to beat each other under braking, and they both went off a little bit wide, and that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, those braking points is just to test the ego. You know, who's gonna back off first and go for it. So we just gotta kind of put that in the back pocket. Sometimes it's just one corner. You can make it up any other parts of the track, but in the moment, it's hard to step out of those.
Definitely. Oh man, it looks like Danny is off the track. And I'm going to have to take a quick look at how that happened just in a second. As we just watch him rejoin the track, rejoin the race just ahead of Lee Holmes and Thomas Worm Jr. there. Luckily, it looks like no damage to Danny's car, so he's going to be able to continue on nice and easy. But yeah, let's take a look at how did that happen. And you can see the car of 992 right there. Oh, just a little bit of a spin, and away he goes.
So easy to do there. You're tired. You're just braking so hard. That I go down to first gear there. Some stay in second, but it's so easy to lose the back end there.
Oh yeah,
better now than in the future there, Danny.
Tell me about it. And you won our race on Thursday, and you benefited from many people having incidents exactly like that. So you got to battle that out and try and figure out how to just stay going forward. It's not easy on this track. Here you go with Alexander Wilfer and Alistair Hatcher going 2 wide into turn 1. Alistair Hatcher on the outside lane position with Barry Clayton almost walking through that open doorway, and Alistair able to close it just in time to not lose too many positions.
Yeah, nice move by Clayton there, not to get over too greedy and stuff at front end there. He made up some time with those 2 battling that corner, and now he can put the pressure on, see what he can make happen.
Yeah, definitely. And here we can actually see Glenn Humberstone a little bit further back from that pack that we were just looking at, battling out with Alexander Redhead. I believe they're in that little incident with Ariel Julian and Mark Oliver. So it's nice to see that they still have someone on track to battle it out with. It's always nice.
Yep.
Always nice to not be absolutely alone out there. So, yeah. Let's go a little bit further back. We've got the likes of Jason Lyons, who, what position was he in the amateur division? I think he was P4 in amateur. We're missing Duncan Watts this race, who is the leader of our amateur division. He must be sick, I have no idea. But he is not here, and so he'll be taking this as a drop week. So that's going to put Jason Lyons in a great opportunity to make up some season standings positions in the amateur division. Being in 10th for this current race, watch out. He's definitely going to be one of the amateur drivers to watch as this season goes on. Here you can see him battling it out with Lee Holmes, both trying to choose the lane positioning that heading into turn 1. Lee Holmes almost able to get up alongside. Both of these cars have front end damage, so it's gonna be quite a challenge for both cars to keep their speed up. Thomas Worm Jr. is the third car in this battle, has no damage on his car, but he doesn't want any damage on his car, I'm sure. So he's gonna have to choose how to make this pass very, very cautiously, you know?
Yeah, and Lyons has to do himself a favor too. He's got some damage. He knows he's got 3 pros behind him. He's got what's that? Ojo and Watts are not in this round, so he can really set himself up well for a win in the future and make up some big points. So let's see how he plays this.
Here we go. We're heading into this heavy braking zone. This corner that absolutely everyone hates. And Jason Lyons is still ahead of Lee Holmes and Thomas Worm Jr. And now we got the likes of Igor Kozin in car number 285 has joined this battle and made a 4-way battle for 10th. Igor being a driver who's had a little bit of misfortune in his race so far. To be in 13th position, he has a lot of pace. Very, very strong driver, as we've seen, especially in qualifying. He's had pole position majority of our races, so he's going to want to find a way through, I guarantee it.
Yeah, and Lyons is driving awesome. I mean, this is where he wants to be, up there with the top guys and laying down those laps. So way to hang it in there, and just about a little over halfway, I guess, of this sprint race. So keep going, Lyons.
And don't look too far. Here you can see Danny Hugendorn making a move on the inside on Thorsten Seifer. And is he going to... And there you go. Oh, a little bit of a lockup. And he may not hold that position. Is this going to be too wide into the next turn? Let's see. Here we go, coming down the hill, heading towards turn 3, Coca-Cola turn, the Coca-Cola corner, and Danny actually, from that little bit of a spin, was not able to hold up his speed. Oh, and Thorsten Seifer gone a little bit wide and has to give up that position. So Danny Hugendorn has made his way through, and that's just the hard battling that you can see here. And now that's put Thorsten Seifer in the sights of Jason Lyons. Look at that. And that is the beauty of Fuji, as you know, Adam.
Oh yeah, definitely get every little bit you can there and hit your braking points. Be smooth, you know. You don't always have to be the fastest guy out there.
Definitely. And just watching these guys go, this is getting my heart rate up. I don't know about you, but it is for me.
Oh, this is awesome. Love to see the amateur guys up there really duking it out, not giving them any space, and you know, they want to be in there. They're amateurs, they're in their own points race. At the same time, you know, there's a pecking order out there, right? You know, like when I race, I don't want to get beat by Winfield. I don't want to, when I'm racing with you, Mike, I want to be close. Sometimes everything goes out the window because you just want to beat your buddy, and they all have kind of their meter stick where they want to be. So
and here we go now with Corey Lazarus and Ben Seifer battling out down the main straight, heading towards turn 1. It looks like Corey Lazarus has gained the inside on Benza Seifer and actually has now gained a position. He's up into the top 3. Benza Seifer's down 1 spot. Corey Lazarus is up 2. And it looks like we also have some battles with Gordon Ramsay and Daniel Valk. Daniel Valk is up 9 positions. Wow, he just really underqualified himself there. Gordon Ramsay is up 1. I believe that is off of the gain of Igor Koz being and Danny Hugendorn being way down the field from where they started. But up 9 positions. I think he underqualified himself, but now he's got the likes of Gordon Ramsay, who is not going to let him have it easy. I can guarantee you that. You can see that smiley face helmet in the front windshield there, and he's just always smiling. He loves racing. It's in his blood.
Yeah, I like Ramsey's livery on his car there too. The white lines and the blue, you know, the Flying Scotsman, looking good out there.
Of course. And my, I think it was my great-grandfather. Oh, and we see a car who's spun out. Who is that? That's Daniel Valk. Let's just take a quick look at how that happened after we see how this shakes out with him rejoining the race. Let's see. Oh, and there you go. Okay, let's just take a quick look at how did that happen. So he's got the likes of Gordon Ramsay in tow and hits the curb. Does he hit the next curb? Oh, no. Oh, and he's just a little bit too much throttle, getting a little bit too excited, and off you go. And it's just so easy to do that. And just from that intensity that Gordon Ramsay gives when he's in your rearview mirror, it's there you go. You know, it's looking at that happy face helmet. That's all that it is.
Yeah, exactly. And Valky's 21st in our last round in Monza there. Showed great speed, but I think in this feature, after watching last week, I like to see Valk, chill a little bit. You got the speed, nice mistake-free race, could really put him back up there with the top guys.
Oh, definitely. And that's put Jason Lyons into 9th position. And not to mention, of course, Rob West is up into 6th position. He's up 6 spots total. Rob West started in 12th position, and he's now in 6th. And look at that. He's got the likes of Danny Hugendorn directly behind him, going to start challenging for 6th spot. So Rob West is going to have the battle of his life, I'm sure.
West, he's good. He's got a great racecraft. I'm not saying last week he had a rough one. He finished.
And look at this. This is the broadcaster curse.
Oh.
And that is
Come
it.
on, Rob.
There's the broadcaster curse at work, and he has had to give up a position to Danny Hugendorn to keep it safe, to keep it pointed forward. And this was 13 minutes into the race, so these tires have been hurting after 13 minutes. Let's take a real quick look at the weather and our track temperatures. It looks like we got 31 Celsius track temperature, so it's still quite hot out there. And they're going to have, I think, 2 more laps to go. I don't know. I don't see the white flag being waved quite yet. So it's going to be 2 laps to go, and here we go with a drag race down the main straight with Igor Koz and Daniel Valk. It looks like we got Igor Koz is on the outside. Oh, and he's actually tucking in behind and going to go for the draft, see if he can make it to the inside. He does not want that outside lane position. And now Thomas Worm Jr. is actually able to duck up the inside. Is he able to make it happen? Is he? No, and not able to get that overlap. Oh, no.
Oh, West.
Oh, West, we're going to have to take a look at exactly what happened to Rob West, because I'm bloody curious, I got to say. Here you go with Rob West, car 38, heading into turn 1. And what is it that happens? A little bit too juicy on the throttle and locks up, and there's nowhere for Thorsten Seifert to go. And that is just sometimes how the cards fall. And that is put...
That's a bummer.
That's put Thorsten Seifert. He was up many spots, now down to 11th. I believe he is 5th position in our pro standings, so that's going to hurt him in the long run for our season. I think this may be our last lap. I don't think Philip's going to beat this this timer to the finish line, and here you go. Philip Hammer put in a great race, amazing pace, incredible consistency to come across in first place. Here we go with no more turns left, so he can't make a mistake now, heading across that finish line. And here you go. Congratulations, Philip Hammer, for winning the sprint race. Yuri Steinmetz. Yeah, for Yuri Steinmetz coming in 2nd. Corey Lazarus up 2 spots to come in for 3rd. Benza Cipher is down 1 spot. Gordon Ramsay, Benza Cipher and Gordon Ramsay, best friends, of course, up 2 spots. They're going to be beside each other once again. Danny Hugendorn is in 6th place, exactly where he started. Jason Lyons is coming across in 7th.
Great drive for Lyons.
Daniel Valk in 8th.
He's my pick for the feature for the win.
Igor Koz is in 9th, Thomas Worm Jr. in 10th, Thorsten Seifert in 11th, Rob West, Lee Holmes, Alexander Wilford. We've got Alistair Hatcher being consistent, steady Eddie. His car is looking all good. Another same Glenn Humberstone, another same paint scheme there. I got Alexander Redhead coming in at 18th. And there you go. That is our race. And let's just take a real quick look at where everyone ended up with the pro, the amateur, and you can see who's where. And that's put the likes of Jason Lyons into the mix of the reverse 8. So I'm really interested to see how that goes.
Yeah, that's a great finish. It's going to put him in a great spot to win the amateur. Like I said, he's my pick for the amateur win. Bummed for Rob West, really. I was looking for a bounce back from last weekend, which is not over yet, but he's in a tough spot there for the feature. But he got some speed. He's got good racecraft. He could pick it up and bounce back from Monza.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have to see how that goes. Rob West is in 12th position. I believe he started that sprint race in 12th, so he's basically right back where he started.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's so he's going to have a lot of work. Of course, it is a 30-minute feature race, so it's not It's nothing to scuff at. It's a long race. It's a long time to go with these cars. That's the challenge that we offer you. If you race with us, that was my first tongue tie all evening. I've made it this long. That's not bad. If you race with us consistently week after week, I guarantee that you will get better and improve with our format. It offers a lot of opportunity for growth in you as a driver, in you as with your racecraft, with our field sizes, with everything. And so that's actually one thing that I absolutely love about this league and what we can give all of you guys.
Oh yeah, likewise. And the Tuesday nights, little practices there and those are great too, to feel out, build up some camaraderie with the PCC members, but also feel out the guys that are just a little bit quicker. Tuck them behind them, see what they're doing, try to find ways to improve. It's a great format for that.
Yeah, definitely. And on the practices, I get to actually enjoy that enjoy that a lot as well, because I get to join in with you guys, and it's a lot of fun just to shoot the shit.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
And here you go. Everyone's gridded it up. The lights are up, and the lights are going on. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the lights are off, and away you go. And all the cars, it looks like they've made it pretty cleanly. We've got the car 112 is up ahead. He's got the inside. That's Daniel Valk. We got everyone's gone wide, and this is absolute chaos.
Whoa!
This is an absolutely chaotic. We're gonna have to take a review of exactly what happened, but that's definitely a massive shakeup. Where is Philip Hammer? He is in last place. This is absolutely wild. So who is in the lead right now? This is Daniel Valk in the lead. And Gordon Ramsay is in second. Danny Hugendorn is in third. We got Thomas Worm Jr. in fourth. Let's pull up our timing tower to see exactly who is where. Wow, and here you go. Alexander Redhead is up 12 positions. You got Ariel Julian is up 12 positions. Glenn Humberstone is in 8th. That is absolutely wild of a start. A lot of chaos. We did not expect that. That served some cars real well and other cars not so much.
Ouch, yeah, that's a stinger for some of the guys here. Let's see how they could rebound and pull it together here. Wild start.
So it looks like we've got Jason Lyons, Ben Cipher, Igor Koz, and Alexander Wilford are out. Let's see, Philip Hammer, does he have any damage to his car? Let's take a look as it comes. He has some rear quarter panel damage. He's decided to stick it out, stay out, and see if he can work his way back through the field. That's definitely strategically.
Oh, Lyons just hit one of those big yellow bananas there. That's going to be some damage.
Was that
big hit?
That may have been Corey. Oh. And that was Barry Clayton is going into the pits. I'm not sure why.
I think that was Lyons, no?
Ariel Julian has made up a position. Oh man, there's so much going on. Okay, here's the moment now. Let's see if I can take a quick look at exactly what happened. We're gonna go with a chopper view to see exactly what happened off of that race start. And here you go. Here's the chaos. It looks like Alexander Wilford. Oh, it looks like Alexander Wilford got a little bit lost under braking. And you can see the chaos that causes. The turn one braking point, it's not always so obvious, especially when you have a lot of cars around you. It's real easy to get lost at when do you hit the brakes. So I know that in the practice time, I actually took you out 3 times, I think it was, into turn 1. So it's I've been there. I've done that. It's not easy.
It's tough. Yeah, there is a really hard spot. You just got to ease into it. Wilford wasn't the only one that blew those markers there too. It's a shame that happened, but it happens. That's racing.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Not to single him out. It's a very easy mistake for anyone to make. So it's just racing, sometimes how it goes, and we're not perfect, and we don't expect you to be perfect. Yep. And yeah.
See how they could climb back. That was my kind of 3 keys to the race were, nail your start, get a good start, get away from the carnage. Obviously, we had a hard time seeing that. And then my second one was manage your tires, get in some draft, be cool, and patience. You don't have to be the fastest guy out there, but you got to be smooth and put your laps together. And Ramsey down the inside. Look at that, into the lead.
And Danny Hugendorn making a pass up into third place, trying to walk through that same open doorway, but it got closed just before he could get there. And now you see Gordon Ramsay is in the lead of this race with Daniel Valk and Danny Hugendorn in tow. The two Dannys. I think they're both from Netherlands too. Look at that. So this is the Battle of Scotland against the two Dutch, with Lee Holmes in tow, definitely in contact. We got a 5-car battle for the lead of this race, with Gordon Ramsay is at the front of this pack. Ariel Julian is about 2 seconds back, so he's not quite in contention. But as we've seen, one mistake from any of these drivers, because they are so close together. Hey, imagine if it could even take out every one of them and put Ariel Julian in the lead. But no, I don't want to say that.
Oh yeah, you hit one of those yellow things and it spells disaster. And this track is all about being consistent. Look at that.
There you go. A little bit of a mishap from Danny Valk, and that's dropped him down from second to fourth position. And Danny Hugendorn is now in second and taking his spot. So the Dannys have done a massive swap, and that's given Gordon Ramsay the safe space to just start running away with it, while his mom is in the stands there. Carol Ramsay is in the stands there just watching him run away with it. So just cheering him on. Danny Hugendorn has got Lee Holmes right there behind him. Is Lee Holmes going to get up alongside? I don't think he's going to quite make it before this braking zone. And let's see how this goes.
Yeah, and Ariel, with all that going on, Ariel's going to be right back in there. Look at that. He's in there. He's got a great racecraft as well. I raced him on Thursday, and he just didn't let me breathe the entire race. Oh, nice move down the inside there.
And this is Philip Hammer battling Corey Lazarus with Rob West in tow. And this is not a spot that Philip Hammer is used to being in, that is for sure. So he's who's that up in front? It looks like Alistair Hatcher went off wide. I believe that was Alistair. No, that was Mark Oliver. All of these guys have the same paint on their car, so it's a little bit hard to tell them apart. Gotta be honest with myself on that one.
Yeah, it is tricky. Yeah.
But I can see the car number here, so that helps me a whole bunch. And now Corey Lazarus is starting to think about how to make a pass on the likes of Mark Oliver. Is he going to go up the inside under braking? And no, he is not going to do it. Oh, it looks like Mark Oliver under braking was not able to hold it together, and that's allowed 2 cars to break free and break loose. And now Rob West is starting to think about, how can I get through?
Yeah, nice gentleman move there by Oliver. He locked up, made a little mistake. Oh no!
No!
His tires were hot from that one, but he let those guys through. He could have made their life a lot harder. So kudos, nice move, Oliver. Bummer you spun out there though.
So our current leader of the amateur division drivers right on the racetrack right now, Alexander Redhead, followed by Glenn Humberstone. These two having a hell of a race to be up into the top 10. And as they head down the straight, they've got Philip Hammer in the very back of this train and Corey Lazarus. So both very, very competent drivers. Looks like Corey's throwing the defensive line, and oh no, a little bit of a lockup from Corey Lazarus, and that is not going to help. I know Corey Lazarus coming at us from the world down under in Australia. I think it's 5 in the morning for him right now.
Holy smokes, yeah. Nice way to start the day.
Oh yeah,
and Hammer behind him's got to be just, furious. But now's the time to be cool. Lazarus isn't the slowest out there. Let the race come. Don't take each other out. I don't have to tell it to Hammer. He's got amazing racecraft. Amazing how cool and collective he is out there. He's going to use the clock to his favor to pick these guys off.
Oh, definitely. He's got, 22 minutes to go, so he's got a long way to go in this race still. Is he going to go out around the outside? No, he is not able to make it work. Looks like Corey is guarding that inside, favoring that inside line under braking. But that's, I think, going to leave him open for attack, actually, in due time to the Hammer.
A good call, too, yeah. And, finally, who was it? One last round, Igor won last round, finally dethroning Philip's perfect season there, and it's going to be interesting to see if Ramsey can hold on, or Hugendorn can hold up front and have a new winner in the pro class.
And here you go with the two amateur drivers who are going side by side down this main straight, and that's going to make a double side by side, I believe, directly behind them. So this is going to be a 2x2. Is Philip Hammer backing off to let it just shake out and see how it goes? It looks like he is. Is he? No, he is. He's going to let this sort itself out. You can see Alexander Redhead going up the inside. Corey Lazarus walking through the open doorway on Glenn Humberstone. And even Philip Hammer is able to make it stick as well. And you're going to see a 2x2. Is this going to be a 3 wide through Coca-Cola? Let's see. Oh, and here you got Philip Hammer around the outside on Glenn Humberstone, giving it up and letting Glenn have that spot just to keep it safe. But that's bringing Rob West into the mix. And this is just an absolute 5-car duel. There's Philip Hammer going around the inside of 100R, around the outside of the next turn, and it looks like Philip Hammer, is he through? I don't think so, but he's got the less distance to travel heading down into this chicane that nobody likes. But
this could get spicy here.
And there it is. Philip Hammer has found his way through, and all of these cars very, very tightly packed.
Nice braking, boys.
Now led by the likes of Alexander Redhead, with Corey Lazarus now going up the inside around these decreasing radius turns. Philip Hammer trying to walk through the open doorway. Is this going to be any kind of over-under? Let's see. Oh, and Philip Hammer still has that outside. He's got overlap and a lot less distance to travel onto the last turn of our lap. And now Philip Hammer has made his way through. Alexander Redhead and Glenn Humberstone are now, once again, beside each other, behind or in front and behind, I guess, to be able to battle it out for position once more. So these two are still side by side, or front and back, but now followed by Rob West, who may be the final knife edge in their battle. So let's see what Rob can do. Of course, Rob not able to get up alongside, so let's take a quick look at Gordon Ramsay. He had a sizable gap from him to second position, and it looks like that gap has now shrunk. So Danny Hugendorn, Lee Holmes directly behind him, with Ariel Julian not far off. Is that Ariel Julian? No, that is a lapped car. No, that's a lapped car.
All blue car is Julian. There's 613. Way back there.
Way back here. So he's not quite in contention. So that is a lapped car. And so that's Barry Clayton. And Barry Clayton looks like he's let them through. He's served that blue flag. And now he's just following in their draft to try and get as far ahead as he possibly can, I'm sure.
So one of the things I saw from Ramsey last race was an awesome starter, really aggressive at the start, really put down some fast laps. But around this time last week, I saw a little bit of unraveling coming from Ramsey. So let's see if he can sort this out under pressure here. One thing he's really good at is having that rear view mirror full of other cars and not being able to waver, protect really great defensive and offensive drivers. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see if he can pull together. I'd like to see Ramsey, stretch that out a bit. I want to see a new winner here, not just Ramsey, but Hugendorn. They're all in the hunt right now because our points leader Hammer's back there, but he's hammering down.
Oh, and there you go with Danny making that move for the inside, but not able to make it stick. And that's done a little bit of a shuffle of our field and actually allowed Gordon Ramsay to start getting further and further away.
Beautiful move by Ramsay. He saw that backing out, and he stretched, gave himself a little bit more room, and hard on the throttle. I don't think he lifted a bit, just readjusted his line. Look at that. That's all it takes in almost a second gap there.
Wow, and sometimes letting the guy come up alongside and then making his own mistakes, setting his own fate, it's the way to go. You don't always have to like battle too hard. These cars are challenging enough to drive. No traction control, no ABS. There's nothing keeping you going forward. There's nothing keeping you forward other than you as a driver. No assists. So it's not an easy car to drive, especially for a length of 30 minutes. It's quite a challenge.
Threading the needle for 30 minutes. Yeah, that's exactly it. These cars are a handful, but also the most satisfying, I think, on iRacing, because they're just,
Oh, and there you
oh,
see the Rob West going side by side under braking. Glenn
Rob
Humberstone.
didn't even shut off. He's like, thank you very much, wide open by him.
Yeah, and that's just the unfortunate things that happen in the car, and that is beautiful battling, beautiful that everyone left space, and it's just an unfortunate situation for the likes of Glenn Humberstone to have that spin. But great battle, great show, and we all enjoyed the viewing there. Thank you guys, thank you boys.
Yeah, Redhead having a great driver. The amateur there, is he gonna let Rob get by him here and latch on him and see if he could stretch it out on Humberstone a little bit more for the amateur division? Let's see what happens, because he's got a nice gap on Humberstone. He needs to just coming up on the halfway here, just bring it, do the same thing you did in the first half and the second. You might have yourself a first win in the amateur class there, Redhead.
Yeah. And here we are with Yuri Steinmetz and Thorsten Seifer. It looked like Yuri just made it through on turn 1 over car 76, and now he's just got to start working his way back to the front of the field. He's thinking about how to get closer and closer to Thomas Worm Jr. and Ariel Julian, who are now battling it out for 4th position. They're now catching that lapped car of Barry Clayton, and so here we go. Let's see how this shakes out. This is going to be real spicy, real quick.
Yeah, you know what's scary there? I'm starting to see Hammer pop into the back of the field there, ninth place and halfway to go. So let's take a look at the lap times, see who's scorching here and who's making up time and who's losing time. Because now, like Euro was keen on, Mike, is the tires. Is tires management now is going to start coming to play? Do guys drop off and start tinkering with setup, or at least brake bias and trying to make up time? Does it put them further back, or does it put them in a better position?
Oh, it looks like Lee Holmes has made a mistake and is now 3.8 seconds behind this lead pack, and so that's taken a lot of pressure off of Gordon Ramsay's shoulders. He's oh, and here you go with Danny Hugendorn going up the inside, trying it again. Here's a little bit of an over-under, and Gordon Ramsay has taken that position right back, and Danny Hugendorn, he's got to keep trying hard, or keep trying again and again and again, but
you're not going to get Ramsay with moves like that for sure. You know, he's going to read that. He read that for all the way down that straight there. You got to get Hugendorn's got to get a little more creative if he's going to get by Ramsay.
Definitely, that is a textbook defense from Gordon Ramsay to stay in that lead. And even though they are battling, the gap from these guys to P3 is growing and growing. So that's definitely going to benefit them in the long run. And yeah, he's not just smiling on the outside of that helmet, he's smiling under it too.
Yeah. So I think Hugendorn, he thinks he's got the braking power on Ramsay there, but you can see Ramsay in some sections there, he'll make these subtle kind of changes to the main line just to have a kind of a little bit of defense and keep him guessing. Oh geez, here was another big battle there.
And there you can see
a nice drive. He's chipping his way up.
And there you could
wow.
There you could see Barry Clayton. Oh, and who is that?
Lyons.
Oh, that was Lyons.
That's bad. He's got a dark cloud over him today. That's a shame. He was my pick for the amateur. Definitely had the speed, but got collected in that first start. That's a shame.
Yeah, he definitely had an amazing sprint race. Not so much luck in the feature. And I think it's his first time being involved in the reverse 8. It's not an easy task to be in that. So here we go with Gordon Ramsay up the inside this time. Oh, I think Gordon Ramsay had the outside all the other times. Here we go with Gordon Ramsay up the inside, and is he able to make it stick? Now we're gonna have a 2-wide. We're gonna have a 2-wide heading into the Coca-Cola corner. Let's see who comes out of this one. Gordon Ramsay, is he gonna give it up? And not exactly, but Danny Hugendorn just had that much better of a turn, is able to sneak right by. But Gordon Ramsay, I already know he's not going to leave him alone. He's going to keep at it, and he's going to be in that rearview mirror all race long. We still have a lot of time left. There's 12 minutes to go, and they have a sizable gap, so there's no rush for Gordon to make that pass too soon. But wow, what a drive from both of these drivers.
Yeah, nice move, different play there. Hugendorn made the pass. That was the nice one. Ramsay's not out, and Ramsay's thinking, okay, now I got the draft down that back straight, so let's see what happens.
And it looks like, oh, that's Jason Lyons, who is a lapped car. There's Philip Hammer coming through. Is Jason Lyons. Yep, there's the yield from Jason Lyons as a blue flag car. That's what we like to see. So Philip Hammer is now exactly where he started in 8th position. He won the sprint race, and then he has a reverse grid. So he ended up right there. Let's see how he goes for the rest of this race. He's got 11 minutes to go. He's made up a lot of ground. Let's see how much more he can make up. And he's our current season champion at the moment with 100 and how many points does he have?
Who's this? Sorry.
Philip Hammer is the current, I shouldn't say champion.
177 points, and Bentz is in second with 167, and then Steinmetz has got a 159. That's our top 3 in the points.
So there you go, and so there you go.
Kudos to Lyons there, getting a lapper, being a gentleman, getting out of the way there. I come from a motocross background. One of the big winners you probably heard is Ricky Carmichael, when he says when someone sees a blue flag, that means there's a race going on and you ain't in it. Get out of the way.
Yeah. Yep. That's so true. And that's what we like to have here, because we don't want to slow down our lead pack drivers. And that's pretty much exactly it.
You can see Ramsey there showing a wheel on Hugendorn.
Let's head right back up to them. Oh, and here you go. They are closer than ever. They're basically giving each other a bear hug as they go through these S's here.
Ramsey's thinking, now how do you like it? You know, now you see the nice big Scottish blue car in your windshield or rear view mirror.
Oh, I have a notification. Lee Holmes has crashed. Before we head on to that straight, I want to see, how did Lee Holmes crash? This may have been where that gap was created. It's right here. And this is Lee Holmes. Oh, he hits a little bit of grass, and there you go. And that's where the gap was created. A little bit of a mix-up for all. And that's just the unfortunate things that happen sometimes. But nice recovery, and here we go. Looks like Yuri Steinmetz and Thorsten Seifert are closer than ever. Is Yuri going to go for that move? Is he going to want the inside? Is Thorsten going to give him the inside? And here we go. Yuri going up the inside. And I think these guys have been swapping positions all race long. Car 164 has got a shorter distance to travel. Is he able to make it stick? He is on the throttle real hard. And he has made that pass.
Nice move. Looks like, was it Steinmetz that made that pass?
Yep.
Yep. Looks like Thorsten maybe stepped out a little bit, gave it to him there. Maybe we'll wait and see if he can make another strike near the end of the race.
And it looked like Rob West was able to get up alongside, of course, because Philip Hammer does have damage to the front of his car, so he's going to have a little bit less straight line speed. But Rob West, being a smart driver that I know he is, did not go for the passing. He just wants to follow that skill that Philip Hammer has to up a few positions. Oh, it looks like I actually have a notification that Philip Hammer crashed. I really want to see what happened here.
I was wondering, he was making some moves and then...
Oh
no!
Just an unfortunate incident to have a car spin, and maybe a little bit of target fixation. We're not sure. It's not like the Hammer to have that, but just a little bit of a bad luck, or a lot of bad luck for Philip Hammer this race here at Fuji. He got Fuji'd. Philip Hammer, I was saying earlier, champion. I should have said champion of our first season in Porsche Cup Challenge. He was our champion of our first season, and so he's trying to do a repeat. Oh yeah,
didn't know that.
And he's won, I think, 3 races this. Oh, and here you go. We're following along with Danny Hugendorn and Gordon Ramsay. Danny had a little bit of a lockup, and that's not going to serve him well with 7.5 minutes to go in this race. So he's really going to have to find a way to take care of his tires with Gordon Ramsay in tow, who I don't think I've seen him lock up all race. So that'll get real interesting.
Yeah, I saw the back end step out a little bit coming out of that hairpin, just trying to get on the gas making that. But each lap goes by, Ramsey's going to add that to his game plan, winding down the laps here. Here
you go. Yuri Steinmetz trying to make up one more position on Lee Holmes around 100R and then around the hairpin. Not able to get up alongside, and that's put Thorsten Seifert alongside Yuri. But Thorsten Seifert looks like he backs out, and he's going to watch these two guys battle it out and try and find a way through after. That's what I'm guessing is happening here with Thorsten Seifert. Thorsten is definitely one of the smart drivers that we've got on our grid. Not going to put himself into too risky of a situation, I know, from what I've seen of Thorsten Seifert. He's just going to I'm sure he's going to let Yuri make the gap for him.
Yeah.
Here we go with Lee Holmes around that final turn, heading onto the main straight. And is Yuri able to get that exit that he wants? It looks like he is. He may be in position to make a pass. Let's find out if he can lay down the horsepower and get up alongside, heading into turn 1. And is Lee Holmes going to give him the inside? No, Lee Holmes wants the inside. Yuri's going to have to go around the outside and travel more distance to make this pass. Is this going to be an over-under? Not quite. Oh, and here we go. Yuri Steinmetz has the inside through Coca-Cola. Is definitely the place that you want to be. And there we go. And here you go. Oh, and Lee Holmes taking a curb. That is not a place to be on the outside. Hitting that curb, you can see how it disturbs that car. It is not a fun experience. And now you see Yuri Steinmetz has made it into 5th position. He's up 2 total in the length of this race. And there you go.
Yeah, and you can see those cars dancing around more, fighting for traction. You know, if you had an in-car cockpit view, you'd see their hands just seesawing back and forth on those tight corners, just keeping the rear end planted, trying to drive out of those corners. And look at that, Hugendorn's put a bit of a gap on Ramsey there. So 5 minutes to go. Maybe it's the tires, maybe it's a mental fatigue, or maybe it's just, Hugendorn just finding some new lines.
I think Gordon's got to get a hug from his mom there, and that'll give him that much needed, what would you say, motivation. Oh, it looks like Gordon has some damage on his front bumper, and that may be actually the cause. Let me see if I can find.
Did he hit a yellow marker, maybe?
He must have hit a yellow curb. And because I now see front end damage, and that he's lucky that happened at the very end of this race, because that could definitely have put him at risk for being attacked from Ariel Julian if there wasn't such a sizable gap.
I don't know. I've been watching the lap times. Ariel Julian, the last 2 laps, he's been our fastest driver on the track. So, let's see.
Up 16 positions with a car that looks like it has no damage, up into a podium. Wow, starting at the back, starting at the bottom, and now you're here.
That's racecraft for you. Use that long 30-minute race to your advantage. Clip off those laps, even if you're in the mid 142s, but you're not getting any drama. You can set yourself up for a great finish.
Yeah, definitely. And what I say in the announcement today, crashing out in lap 1 of a 30-minute race should be reserved for George Russell fans. So I guess we got a lot of George Russell fans tonight.
Words of wisdom. That's beautiful.
Here we are with Yuri Steinmetz and Lee Holmes, followed by Thorsten Seifert, and we have just a few more laps remaining. And let's just a little bit of a discussion on Thursday. I don't think you were in first place for the length of the race at all. It was that very, very last lap.
Right around here, yeah, I grabbed it, and that was it. I sat in 5th and 6th for the majority of the race, and I knew the big points leaders were behind me with the big gap or their own issues, so I was thinking to myself, I'm just going to hang here and see what happens. And then the race came to me. It really was. I'm never the fastest guy out there, but I put consistent laps, safe laps together, and those opportunities that happened. I made one mistake on the last lap when I wanted to try to go for Daniel Thomas there on one of the corners, and I thought, oh, that was my shot, but I came around the corner and I see Daniel spun out because he hit one of those yellow things. I was like, at first I felt bad, but then felt pretty good.
That bad feeling, I'm sure, did not last very long.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I remember that very, very clearly. That put Daniel Thomas from 1st to 6th, and on one of the very last corners too. So, eating sausage, it's never good for you.
I mean, I last season I hit one of those and blew up my car, and I was, like I said, traumatized for days later. I was thinking of those yellow things. I don't even come near them. I don't touch them with nothing because of what happened to me.
Yeah, don't even take the chance. It's like,
Nope.
no way. You gotta get as far away as possible. It looks like Lee Holmes is now thinking about how to make a move on Yuri Steinmetz. Yuri Steinmetz is a little bit ahead. Oh, is he going a little bit wild on that throttle? He is, and he's losing that rear end as he's exiting these corners, and that's allowed Lee Holmes to get up alongside on these decreasing radius turns. We're gonna have to see how this shakes out. So Yuri Steinmetz on the inside, and able to hold on to that position, but for how much longer, I don't know. It's anybody's guess. We've got one
battle.
We've got 1 more minute in this race, so this is now our last lap. So it's now or never for any of these cars here. And it looks like Danny Hugendorn is in the lead of this race. Gordon Ramsay is in second, holding on for dear life with that damaged car. Ariel Julian 3 seconds back from Gordon. I don't think he's going to be able to make up that time, but here you go with Lee Holmes and Yuri Steinmetz going side by side in turn 1. Yuri's taking that inside line, not giving up that inside at all. Oh no! And there goes Lee Holmes touching the grass just a little bit. Now he's down into 7th. And
what a battle for top 5.
How quickly the tables can turn.
Everyone's spent last lap. Everyone's throwing caution to the wind. They wanted to get that top 5, and they're pushing this. But the car's beat, tires are toast, mental fatigue. This is where it counts.
And that is exactly, I think, how you won that race on Thursday. Is just by focusing and for that full 30 minutes. I don't know how you do it, to be honest. It's quite a challenge.
That's not one of my strengths, you know that. So I'm just kind of proud of myself too.
Yeah, I've never seen you do that one before.
I'm known to wander off mentally and burn up tires by the 5th lap, so it was a weird one.
And we're just following along right now with our race winner of Danny Hugendorn going around the final quarters, coming onto that main straight, heading towards that finish line with that clean car. Congrats, able to have a clean race. Danny. And stick it through to the end. Congratulations, Danny Hugendorn, for winning this race. Gordon Ramsay coming in second, and Ariel Julian finishing out those podium positions. And so that's Ariel Julian coming in at 3rd. Thomas Worm Jr. in 4th, Yuri Steinmetz in 5th, Thorsten Seifer in 6th, Lee Holmes in 7th, Corey Lazarus in 8th, Philip Hammer in a place he's not usually at in 9th, Rob West in 10th. We've got Alexander Redhead in 11th, Glenn Humberstone in 12th. That's going to do these guys very well in their standings for the amateur division. Alistair Hatcher in 13th. Mark Oliver in 14th. Who's that car? That I have no idea. Jason Lyons looks like he's able to... Is he able to finish on the lead lap? I don't think so. Jason Lyons in 15th. Barry Clayton in 16th. Daniel Valk in 17th. Ben Cipher in 18th, Igor Koz in 19th, and Alexander Wilfer in 20th. Those bottom 4 drivers, I believe, were the ones involved in that, the giant kerfuffle, the things that sometimes happen. I don't have...
Congrats to Redhead for his first win in the amateur class. Great drive.
Definitely. Congratulations. And let's see if I get... Where's my race results? I don't have it coming up yet. That's weird. Oh well. Oh, that's because we got 1 car still on track, I think. As soon as he comes off the track, we'll be able to... Yeah, we still got a few cars. Oh, here you go. A little bit of a celebration burnout. Let's pull that back up, actually. Let's just pull that back up. And there's a picture of Glenn Humberstone. And he put some seriously good points up for himself in the amateur division. And these are, you can see there's just happy celebration donuts.
That was an awesome drive for Humberstone. You know, it looked in the sprint and in the beginning of that race, he was having the back end step out at him here and there. He made a few mistakes, but way to pull it together. In those last 5 minutes, I was looking at his lap times. He was flying.
Definitely, definitely. And here is our race results. You can see who's pro division, who's amateur, how they all did. And yeah, congratulations once again for Danny Hugendorn to win that race. Good job for Gordon Ramsay. No, he is not a professional chef. And it's confirmed that he does, in fact, like haggis. I don't know. The first person I've ever met that likes haggis. Ariel Julian in third, Thomas Worm Jr. in fourth, Yuri Steinmetz in fifth, Thorsten Seifer in sixth, with a real great result there as well. Lee Holmes up in seventh, Corey Lazarus in eighth, Philip Hammer in ninth, Rob A. West in 10th, Alexander Redhead, Glenn Humberstone, Alistair Hatcher, Mark Oliver, Jason Lyons, Barry Clayton, Daniel Valk, Benza Seifer. Having a shit race, I guess, for Benza. Not so much because of what he did himself, just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Same with Igor and Alexander Wilford. I'm sure we'll see all those bottom four drivers really duking it out hard next week, and hopefully a little bit better luck as well next week. So for all those guys, it's unfortunate what happened. Sometimes it happens, but yeah. So yeah,
that's why we race. Next weekend we'll do it all over again to get another opportunity at it. That's why we love racing.
Yeah, definitely. And what are your thoughts? What do you think? What a race!
I thought it was good. I thought, it was interesting that our Thursday division, our top fast guys, typically week in, week out, they had a hard time coming through the back after winning their sprint races. And I think, it's a little bit of the similarities today too. Hammer couldn't get up front. Lazarus, whatever happened there too, he couldn't get up front. They had a hard time avoiding the carnage working through the pack. So that was kind of interesting because the other tracks, the fast guys, they always find a way to the front, right? So it could just be a one-off, but that's one thing I noticed. But I think great drive by Ramsey as well. Thought he was going to pull that one off, but obviously kudos to Hugendorn because he was flying on that second half. You couldn't touch him.
Definitely. I think you also bring up a really great point that, and it's a fact of just everyone in the league improving, and it's just not as easy anymore to break through that field because everyone is getting to be a better and better and better driver. So passes are not as easy as they used to be.
Absolutely. Those fast guys are starting to, they show themselves. And like I said, there's a pecking order out there. And those fast guys, sorry, but you're going to have a target on your back, not to hit, not to anything malicious, but you will get life made tougher out you on the racetrack because the fast guys, they want to try to beat them. They want to try to say to their, bragging rights, hey, beat Hammer this round or beat Heinz. The other guy in another league there. So interesting how that pans out, but it was really neat to see some of these guys running up front like that, and the guys coming from the back. I mean, Ariel Julian, he went through some serious traffic, no damage. Jeez, that says a lot. You got to watch out for those guys because if they find a little bit more speed, they got the racecraft to win races.
Definitely. And Ariel Julian had a podium as well for the Americas League, podium for the European Global League. So, wow, I think that this track just speaks to him.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, he's liking Fuji.
So that is our race. I hope you all enjoyed the show. And I'm excited if you can all watch that back and have it as good of a time as we did calling it out. And I'll see you guys next week on Thursday for the Americas division and next week Sunday for the Euro Global. And that's going to be I think that our next race will be at Spa.
Cool.
So I'll see you guys later and have a good evening, have a good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're from. And I'll see you later, guys.